So I'd like to go over a little passage. I guess to help overcome decision anxiety, and maybe it's a bit of an existentialist theme, and Evola does talk about that a bit, but anyway. There emerges a valid attitude for the man who must stay standing as a free being, even in the epoch of dissolution, to assume his own being into a willing, making it his own law, a law as absolute and autonomous as Kant's categorical imperative, but affirmed without regard for received values, for good or evil, nor for happiness, pleasure or pain. Pardon me. The man in question affirms and actualises his own being without considering rewards or punishments, either here or in an afterlife, saying, "The way does not exist. This is my will, neither good nor bad, but my own." In short, Nietzsche hands on the ancient sayings, "Be yourself, become what you are," as propositions for today, when all superstructure has fragmented. That's pretty much it. I guess just to add a bit onto it, it says authoritarian metaphysics and religion are leading strings for babies. It's time to walk by oneself. We should look for revelation in ourselves. Christ is no more. Each of us must be Christ for himself and be joined to God as far as he will or can be, or even deny God. Strength and responsibility must be no less than they were long ago, when they were born from a religious faith and from a given point of support, in a different human type and different climate. Nietzsche's idea is identical. So, I mean, my interpretation from that is, you're disregarding good, evil, reward, punishment, and just being yourself. And from what I believe, and what I've learned, and what I've observed and experienced, anxiety is a fantastic tool to be yourself. So there are two types of anxiety. I can't remember the technical terms for them, but one of them is essentially an anxiety which is there because you are scared of the action, of the activity, of the event that you would like to do. Let's take going to a conference that pertains to a career you'd like to pursue. You might have anxiety regarding meeting people, going there alone, etc. And this is sort of an irrational anxiety, let's call it. An anxiety which stems from your insecurities. You can perhaps be somewhat, objective, subjective, but you can be honest with yourself and say that you would benefit from going to this event. You would enjoy the event, you understand the fruit it may bear, and you feel that such fruit is in accordance with your nature and with yourself, basically. You can spot the reasons why you want to go, and you can affirm these reasons. You're confident in them being authentic reasons for you going. The other type of anxiety is a rational anxiety, and this, I guess, takes form as mere feeling, as anxiety does, but it's hard to exactly pinpoint why you don't want to go, or why you don't want to do it. Obviously this, I believe, may definitely apply to my situation now, this job. You ask me why I want to go, why I've got the job, why I'm going in half an hour. I don't know. I don't know. Money, experience, I'm pretty sure through past, experience working with customers like face to face, where I'm providing a service like that, I've just felt a lot of anxiety. I've already had a trial shift there, where I felt anxious about doing it. My perfectionism was making me anxious, which is, perhaps an irrational anxiety, but it's definitely an integral part of my personality for the time being. And then there's socialising, meeting new people, but with the girls, those shit where you eat, and I can imagine my insecurity regarding women is going to make me want to appear flirtatious or be flirtatious or shit like that. That's another topic in itself. With the guys, sure. But I've worked in places before where I've worked with people, I've tried to get them out, and it's just nothing's come from it. Maybe I meet a friend or two, but at the moment I'm not really that lonely. I've got a couple of mates, and that suffices for the time being. Experience, well, I have no idea. I have very little confidence, seeing how I am now. I have very little confidence that I'd like to go to Australia and work in bartending or hospitality. So as I say, Nietzsche states about making it his own law, a law as absolute and autonomous as Kant's categorical imperative, but affirmed without regard for received values, for good or evil, nor for happiness, pleasure or pain. The man in question affirms and actualises his own being without considering rewards or punishments, either here or in an afterlife, saying, "The way does not exist, this is my will, neither good nor bad but my own." In short, Nietzsche hands on the ancient sayings, "Be yourself, become what you are," as propositions for today, when all superstructure has fragmented. So, the reason I've got this is because I feel like I should have done. I feel like I should be working. And that's an external structure. That's me abiding by something external. So that's just some analysis on being oneself in the chapter Being Oneself of Ride the Tiger, where I guess it's almost talking about feeling. It's almost about, you can get like a matrix grid, a chart, a yes, no, advantages, disadvantages, pros, cons, and you can give them weights, each option a weight, and say, yes, okay, money, socialising, potential friends, experience of the future, and then you say, it makes me anxious before every shift, the day before every shift, quite a high weight, I don't know if I want to do it when I'm in the future, decently high weight. You can weigh them up and say, oh shit, all these pros, there are more pros, so I should do it. But then, that's not an objective grid. There might be other factors you're missing out. The weightings are just subjective. You can't give them a definite, weight, definite value. So you do it. You say, well, this is right. You say, I should be doing it. But then after a month, you realise you're more stressed, you're more anxious, you're more miserable. You've got your paycheck and you're like, ugh, And then you realise, after doing it a couple of months and quitting, fuck, that was not worth it. So reason and rationale may only take one so far. I think the greatest guide is yourself, your intuition, your persisting emotional state. That goes against, I guess, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but I believe that goes against Stoicism, and I've been quite the advocate of Stoicism and using reason as your guide. But maybe reason doesn't have to just be logical facts weighing against one another. That's quite analytic. That's quite analytic, whatever the word is. And perhaps reason can be your inner voice, referring to yourself and your emotional state, and doesn't just have to be derived from pros versus cons. You know, because you can say that about anything. Should I do X? Well, think about what it'll do for me, this, what I can learn. But then, do you even care about it? You know, all of these pros might sound fantastic on paper, and to potential future employers might sound great, but do you actually care in the moment? Because if you don't, then you're just living for the future. You know, you're just living not for the now. So I'll stop right here, and then I want to go through something I've just thought about in another video.